What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Cog Pod. This is episode 83. This week is going to be another horror, H.O.R.R.O.R cast, horror cast number 3, the most requested thing for us to do by the fans. So we're at it again. This time around, we don't have Morpheus with us. We've got Richard again. He's trying. Okay, you guys, Richard has lost every single time. Every single time he's played this horror cast game, he has lost terribly. Sorry to say, Richard. Sorry. So Richard is back again, trying to redeem himself. Say hello, Richard.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be back. And don't worry. No, it's fine. I am setting a very low bar for everyone. So if I win, it's going to be awesome.
You're the fucking underdog, man.
That's
We're
right.
so excited.
Keep those expectations low, everyone.
The winner is going to get a t-shirt just like we did last time. But luckily, Richard, knowing how terrible he is at this game, he already bought one. So if he wins, he'll get a different version of the t-shirt or something. We'll figure something out. You're not going to win, but we'll figure something out. And joining us for the first time ever, all of our listeners have heard me talk about Ross so many times. And if y'all remember the infamous "I grabbed a broom when I should have grabbed a knife" story, that was with Ross. Like, you know who Ross is. Ross, say hi to everybody.
What's up, y'all?
Oh my God, I'm so excited, Ross.
I'm super excited to be here, and I've been wanting to do this for years. So
and
I
kick
can't wait.
Richard's ass. Kick Richard's ass.
I don't want to say that.
No, it'll be fun. So I was kind of thinking what we'll do this time a little bit different than we normally do the horror cast format. Rather than me make up questions and pick my own answers and have you guys try to guess my answers, because Ross is like a second version of me. Like if I had cloned myself into a male form, it would be Ross. And so he would get all the answers right just straight away. So I had Austin Horror Society, big ups to y'all. And then all my horror friends on Twitter make up the questions for me, so they're not partial to either one of you guys, to try to give Richard a fair chance.
Yeah, you should. And I probably won't do as well as I think I will. So.
But the good news is that Ross and I both have been drinking just a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Richard, have you had any alcohol today? I know it's early.
I am fresh and chipper. No, I have not had any alcohol today.
I'm not sure. Okay, I was going to say, you didn't really answer the question. Because you could be fresh and chipper with a whole load of fucking tequila in you.
No, I've had about half of one of those. What size is this? 24 ounces of NOS.
Oh,
I've had about half of that, and I still have another half.
That's
disgusting.
That's like drinking heroin.
Not
heroin.
It's like fucking speed and toxic water all mixed together, and it's even got the color of toxic water.
I just went outside and sucked some gas from
Yeah,
the
it's
car.
Disgusting. I don't know why you... Ew, don't make that sound at me.
What? Okay.
Wait, I can do it better. Ready?
Here.
Nah. Stop. Okay, wait. Everybody has already left listening to us because of how terrible that was to start with.
Sorry.
So what I thought we would do a little different this time is we'll do some like basic Halloween type questions just to get the juices flowing. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll have some creepy stories, some creepy pastas. We'll do the trivia kind of smack in the middle and do some more creepy stories and questions at the end. So we'll kind of break it up a little bit for you guys so it's not all samesies the whole way through. I think everybody's gotten tired of playing the games that I made up anyway because the answers are very specific to my taste. So these will be a little bit more real answers versus what Amanda thinks is great, which is usually wrong. So... general questions we got. We'll just go straight into the ones from the fans. So this one comes from Revenge of Divinity through our Discord chat. Shout out. Go to my Twitter to get in our Discord chat. So he wants to know, we're going to do Boff, Marry, Kill. You guys know how to play this game, right? It's Marry, Fuck, Kill. But I say Boff because I hate saying fuck. Okay, so Boff, Marry, Kill. So this is a little weird. The bad guys from Jeepers Creepers. So the creepy dude with the weird face with the wings, the bad guy from Jeepers Creepers
where he
series.
throws a head from a spider or something.
Yeah, with the weird thing. That guy.
Kill.
Or or Friday the 13th. So Jason is your other option. And then the third option is Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Who you're supposed to marry one
Boff,
of these?
Marry, Kill. So what I think, I I'm gonna kill the Jeepers Creepers dude.
Yeah.
Just because there's no way you
that
can't.
penis is rotten.
There's something wrong.
It's rotten.
His anatomy is
Can
not
I say
right.
penis?
You can say penis.
It's
yes.
rotten.
It's
though.
rotten.
And
So
if not, it grew back and it's somebody else's.
It's bad. It's just all bad. So we're killing the Jeepers Creepers dude.
Yeah.
Because I'm so scared of Freddy, what I think I'm going to do is marry him so that he won't kill me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to kill me in my sleep if I'm his wife and I'm making his food every day.
Yes,
and
he
like
will.
I'm cleaning his same green and red striped sweater every day for him. Like, I think that he'll probably leave me alone. So I would then boff Jason because has anybody ever had hate sex? Like, that shit is great.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And Jason's got a lot of anger, so I think he's just pounding it out.
He's just gonna
pounding
beat
it out.
He's just gonna beat it up. So do we both have to answer?
No,
this?
you answer as well if it's different, or if it's the same, then just say it's the same.
So for me, I would kill Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
just because
you kind of have to.
He's terrible.
He's terrible.
I don't want anything regrowing. And then, so the other is what, Boff and Mary?
Yeah.
So maybe Boff Freddy, because I feel like he has a lot of pent-up aggression.
Okay.
And then I think I would marry Jason because he's kind of buff.
He is kind of buff.
You know? So that might, like, underneath all of that, there might be some hotness.
There might be. His face is going to be fucked up, though, because of the mask.
Terrible.
But, I mean, he can just always...
But I'll just have him wear a mask.
He can just wear the mask all the time.
You know, just, even if it's a different mask.
His mother might be an issue. Like, you might have really bad in-laws.
Well, you know what? Amanda Voorhees died in the first one.
Okay, so then you don't have to worry about your in-laws. Okay. Richard?
This
is really bad for you, Richard. I'm sorry.
No.
What are you gonna do?
I've actually thought about this now. Kill Jeeper Creeper for
Okay, we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Boff Freddy.
Okay.
Okay.
Because he's in he can pull you into the dream world and you can do anything.
Oh, that's a really good point. You could live out all your fucking fantasies, Richard.
That's right.
I just got ready.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I'm glad I have this pillow.
Lady boners, you guys.
Yeah,
like, that's really good. Okay,
And then,
I hadn't thought of that.
Jason, marry him. He's a big, strong, strapping
See?
lad.
Okay, so y'all
us.
agree on that. All right.
All
I just
right.
don't want to die. It's the only reason I married Freddie, but y'all might have convinced me otherwise.
Because, you're good with dreams. So.
That's right.
Okay. That's probably not what the listeners were looking for as their answers, but,
Well, I'm being truthful, okay? Jason
We're
might
doing
be buff.
We're doing it as realistically as possible for you guys. Okay, so then we got a question from Lazarich. What's up, Laz? He wants to know, out of the three of us that are on the horror cast, so myself, Richard, Ross, who is most likely to die first in a horror movie? And then second question is, who is most likely to become possessed first?
Oh, shit.
So both situations.
Richard, can you go first? Because I need to think.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I didn't read this ahead of time, so you go first.
I feel like Amanda,
Don't
I'm
hold
sorry,
back.
you die first.
Don't hold back.
Because you got the broom
that's
thing
fair.
going
Yeah.
for you.
Okay,
Yep.
oh my god, back to the fucking broom story.
No, but
Oh
he's
my
right.
God.
He's
Oh my
right, Amanda.
God.
There was power tools.
I have no
Power tools.
sustaining skills whatsoever.
She's like, I can twirl.
If y'all want to know what we're talking about, listen to Horrorcast number 1, where I grabbed a broom instead of any useful object.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm gonna die first. Great, awesome. And then
Okay,
what's
and
next?
I hate to say it,
Possessed.
I'd probably be possessed. Just because
You'd be
I would
possessed
parents,
first.
So, apparently I would either
I am
kill or
very
possess
willing.
one of you.
Wait, you're willing to be possessed?
Yeah. Why not?
Well,
Who knows what's going to happen?
Is you want to hear? You want to see life from someone else's perspective? Is that what it is?
something.
Yeah, that'd be
else.
cool.
You're open-minded. I think that you're right. I think I would die first, just because
She's like, what? I'm gonna go check it out.
and I do that. Like, when there's a bad noise in the house, I'm like, who the fuck was that? And I get up and I go check it out straight away instead of arming myself in any feasible manner. And also, every horror movie trope ever, the one that's not a virgin dies straight away. So
Oh, God.
I know,
You're gonna get killed
I am
17
done.
times.
Like, I'm getting dismembered, boiled, put through a chipper, something. There's no way. But I think Ross would be possessed
I'm weak of character.
first. No, I don't know why. I just feel like you'd be possessed first. You're closer to the ghost stories than Richard is, I think. I think Richard, out of the three of us, would survive the longest.
That's true. I agree.
I feel like
because you're smarter than us.
no.
So I think Amanda would die first.
Damn it, you guys!
No. Okay, no. I retract that.
No, you can have your
No,
opinion.
so if we're all together,
Mhm.
I would die first because I'm big, and so I'm gonna go first.
No, but it's not necessarily a cardio situation.
Well, no. Okay, if it's cardio, then I'm really fine. but no, I would be like, I'm gonna protect everybody around me, and then
That's true. You're the sacrificial lamb, so you would jump in front of a bullet to save someone. So you might die first.
I'm like, take my keys, go.
Yeah,
and then I
that's
just die.
true.
And then I think Amanda would be possessed because
I'm a ginger. I'm already soulless. Like maybe that's it.
I mean, no,
Need
it's not
something to occupy
soulless,
that
but I
space.
think that you're more into the power of persuasion.
Oh damn. Okay.
Is that not a bad thing? It's not a bad thing.
It could be. If it's a ghost persuading me,
that's
it could
true.
be.
That's true.
What are the intentions
Just
of the ghost?
don't haunt me or like spit weird shit into my mouth if you're possessed. Just don't do it. I don't want your ectoplasm.
So the two of us agree that Richard would live the longest regardless.
Awesome, Richard. Good job.
Way to go, buddy. Round of applause, everybody, for Richard.
I won't lie though. I am very calm under pressure. Like a couple weeks ago, I was on a shoot and literally they stuck a lasagna into the oven to heat it up, and the oven hadn't been used in so long that there was this like dried up stuff in the bottom of the oven, and it lit on fire.
Oh my god! So I was
Everyone
gonna save this
freaking
story.
out. I just went into the house and I was like, okay, what's going on? And thank
Just handled
God
your
there
shit.
wasn't grease in that oven because they threw water.
Flour. You throw flour on it. Oh,
if you had flour.
True.
They threw water
So I
on
was-
it.
No, that is literally the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Just throw gasoline on the fire.
Here's what they did
grease
first.
fires, don't they
Here's
know?
what they did first, okay?
Okay.
They opened it. They noticed a small flame in the bottom of there, and they're like, okay, let's blow on it.
Okay.
No.
Because that's useful.
That's
Whatever.
how you get a campfire going.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then
I'm gay and I know this shit.
And
So what did they do?
They threw water on it, and it went out, thankfully.
How did that
Everyone-
even work? That's not supposed to work.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe because it was
Wow.
like burnt on stuff rather than grease.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was-
wait. Richard, so I was going to save this story for much later, but since you mentioned an oven and it's Halloween related.
This was also at my old house.
Okay, so remember where I grabbed the broom at Ross's house? So we're in the same house. This was probably 04,
Yeah,
05?
05.
05. So we're going to make a sundae. And the way we made our sundaes was we took a big ball of vanilla ice cream, rolled it in toasted coconut, and then rolled it in like chocolate syrup and put strawberries on it. It was so good.
Sydney's Blank Sundae.
That's what we call it.
so-and-so.
Yeah. Other restaurants
From
are
another
available.
restaurant.
So we were trying to imitate this dessert. So we lay out the coconut to toast it in the oven.
Mind you, we were warned.
Right. Like toasted coconut, it toasts in like literally 30 seconds. But we're
We're going to go check our Facebook.
Right. So we
MySpace.
It was MySpace, actually. So we leave the kitchen. We go to the garage to check our MySpace accounts, you guys. Kids don't even know what the fuck that
They're
is.
like, who?
Who? So we're out there. We're checking our MySpace for our like friends' questions and comments. And oh my God, you're so cute on MySpace. So we check in our MySpace and we both of us hear somebody, a female voice went,
Hello?
hey! Oh, it was hello.
Hello.
Hello. Like real whispery and whatever.
It was very, very...
It was kind of,
like ethereal.
Yeah, it was that's a good word, ethereal. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And you're like, I heard it too. And so I was like, I wonder. So we go inside.
Didn't smell anything? No smoke detectors
No
going off?
smoke, nothing. We go inside and the fucking oven is on fire
Like
with
flames.
coconut. Flames coming out
Shooting out of the oven.
with coconut.
We put water on it, by the way. Just
Did
kidding.
we?
Just kidding.
What did we do? I don't remember.
No, I think it just went out when we took it out. We just
So we
smacked
took it out and put like one of your hand towels on top of it.
and
or
it just went
something.
right out.
Okay. So at least we didn't put water on it.
So that was a nice ghost. It's a nice ghost.
So some spirit warned us that your house is going to go up in flames in a minute because you're fucking stupid. Anyway.
Okay,
So, yeah, that
kids,
was,
please. Disclaimer
Kids,
for
please.
anyone who is young and does not know how to cook. Be
Please.
smart around the
Please.
oven and the stove.
Yes.
My
Just
God.
buy toasted coconut, y'all.
Just buy it toasted. It comes that way already.
you know,
It's like 30 cents
It's
extra.
30 cents, and it's less risky.
Just buy it.
That kitchen needed to be burned down.
No,
but
it
still.
didn't.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So the next question comes from Lazarich's wife, which I don't remember her name.
Oh.
She wants to know if you have kids, if you're a family, what is a really good family, everybody's all in the same thing costume, like for your whole family?
Oh.
The only thing that I thought of originally was like you could do a Ninja Turtles thing where the wife is April,
Oh, that's cute.
the dad could be Splinter, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
rat teacher guy, and then the kids, however many kids you have, can just be the various Ninja Turtles.
That's a really good idea.
That's an easy one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ross, for family
Oh,
costumes?
shit.
Star Wars would be a good one because then there's like so many characters.
You could just
do.
go as the Kardashians. You know?
Oh.
Just go as the Kardashians.
Oh, you'd have to be Jenner before his transgender surgery, though. If
Well,
you're
then
the
I would
dad.
just be Bruce Jenner.
Okay.
So Dad goes as Bruce.
Pre-surgery, Bruce.
Excuse me, Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn, but pre-surgery Bruce, or not. I mean, if you're progressive, then be Caitlyn Jenner.
You could be Bruce Lynn Jenner.
Bruce Lynn Jenner.
So, you know, like pre-op, but he's still dressing as a woman. You're just Bruce. I would be Bruce Lynn Jenner.
Bruce Lynn Jenner.
I really,
And then however many kids you have are the
You know?
Kardashians. That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Richard, family costume. What's the first thing that pops to your mind?
I actually just thought of Power Rangers.
Oh, nice.
That's a really good one too, actually.
Nice.
I thought that was a good idea.
Because, like, the parents could be, like, what are the bad guys from, like, the old 90s Power Rangers?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I just remember that Trini was the yellow one.
Trini was in it?
Trini. And she was Asian, and I always thought it was racist because they had her in a yellow costume.
Oh, that is a little racist.
yeah.
Oh, no.
I'd want to be Kimberly.
But yeah,
the
you
pink
could have the
one.
kids dress up as the Power Rangers, and you can have the adults
Yeah.
as the bad guys.
Okay,
The-
question, y'all.
Yeah.
Power Rangers. Did y'all not think that Kimberly, the pink one, was the hot one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I thought she was.
I don't know.
I
I was,
would
I was
agree.
too young to make a judgment.
Whatever. You
Well, no,
know.
we're older than you, so shut up.
Mhm. Dang it.
Wow.
We'll answer one more. We're going to answer one more question before we go into our like creepypastas that Richard has found for us.
Noise.
So,
Oh no.
they're fine. So, what is the worst costume that you've ever worn for Halloween? The worst one.
Khloe Kardashian.
He literally went as Khloe
I
Kardashian
did.
once.
Do you know what I did?
I thought that was a pretty good costume.
it was awesome.
I thought it was good.
I looked hot. Okay?
I thought better than her. Better than her.
I was Khloe Kardashian pre-revenge body. Like very, very pre-revenge body. I put a pillow in the back of my jeans.
That's right, for your big butt,
I
your big
wore-
Kardashian butt.
I was a little thinner, so I wore one of Amanda's tops and stuffed it.
Oh yeah, you wore the polka dotted top and you had a wig.
I did.
Okay.
It was fabulous.
Richard, your worst Halloween costume.
Oh man. I don't know, because back in the day, all costumes were like horrible. But,
Pretty shitty.
Wait, no,
when
no,
we
no.
were little, they were pretty shitty.
I have a better one. So
Okay.
Richard, be thinking about it. So one year, my husband and I went. He went as Portia de Rossi because he has a better body, and I went as Ellen.
Where was I?
It was
Where
a-
have I been?
Where have I been?
Where have I been?
It was at my brother's house.
Oh, okay. I didn't see. I
Um,
didn't even see pictures from that.
You should.
Oh.
Because I was I was like Ellen.
You're
in the
like
90s.
you're a super butch Ellen.
And my husband looked awesome as Portia because he has like a good figure.
He's thin, yeah. So okay,
Bitch.
my worst one. Let me try to think. I think the worst one for me, and it wasn't that bad, but I was a little heavier then, and I thought I looked real cute in my.
You're gonna say Dorothy, aren't you?
No. Dorothy was fine. My French maid outfit.
You looked so good
In person, I looked okay, but I was a hefty French maid. So if you look back in my pictures,
You can't see that my eyes are rolling.
yeah, like they rolled so far back. But I thought I looked the worst in that probably than any of the other ones. Because I've been a schoolgirl, I've been Dorothy, I've been Alice in Wonderland.
I'm just
been,
gonna
like, all
stop
these
her
different-
right there and say that she's been all the hot bitches, and she did it. Okay, okay, y'all.
But the worst one was the French maid, just because I was like a hefty French maid.
Well, whatever. Your ass is supposed to hang a little bit out.
Well, you need strong arms to clean the house.
You know, you were
I
scrubbing
was just
tubs.
buff from cleaning the
You
house.
scrubbing tubs.
Oh God.
It was hot. It was
Richard,
hot.
please save me. What's your worst costume?
Okay, so this was back whenever I was living in New Mexico, and I was recycling like a costume that I had to wear from one of my old schools whenever I was portraying Saint Francis.
First of all, that's way over my head already. Who the fuck is Saint Francis?
He's Catholic. Were you Catholic? Are you Catholic, Richard?
I am Catholic, yes.
I
went to a Catholic school.
Sorry.
Who is Saint Francis?
Of Assisi?
Yeah, Saint Francis of Assisi. He's the one that you always see with like the dove on his finger.
Yeah.
He's bald.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
And a few years later, I recycled that costume and used it as a hunchback. So I was a hunchback one year, and I just had a pillow shoved up my ass.
Wait, so you were like a priest hunchback?
Well, no. Hunchback was kind of like in that kind of like robe type.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you just use pieces of the costume.
Yeah.
So when you were Saint Francis of Assisi, though, did you touch little boys?
Whoa!
Did you?
Oh no!
Hey, I'm Catholic. I'm allowed.
I
to
won't
say
go there,
it.
but yes, I was Saint Francis.
Yes, he did, and one of them was Christopher.
Yeah.
Jesus, you guys. Okay, moving on from the questions. We'll come back and answer the rest of these questions. So we got a few more to answer a little bit later. So, Richard, I tasked you with the horrible task of trying to read through the Reddit thread of creepypastas to find either really funny, really shitty, or really good. Like, whatever you found that just kind of stuck out on your mind is good creepypasta. And Ross was like, what the fuck?
I was like, what is creepypasta?
What is a creepypasta? Is it
that
pasta?
like when my dish in the fridge goes bad?
Right. Is it
what?
like in the shape of a fucking ghost? Like, what is it?
I didn't
So I had to
understand.
explain what creepypasta was. So what did you find for us today? What's on the menu?
So I have two different creepypastas, one of which is actually fairly old, called Pokemon Lost Silver. So this is for like the nerdy kids in us.
Side note, I don't know anything about Pokemon, so
Nor do I.
we'll see how many holes I can punch in this.
Okay. That's going to be the second one that I read.
How many upvotes does it have? That's what I want to know.
I don't know for
You didn't
the
write that down.
Lost
Okay,
Silver.
okay.
No, I don't
That's
know.
fine. What's the first one you've got?
The first one that I have is called Rabbits in the Creek.
Rabbits in the Creek.
This one is on the Creepypasta site. It has a 9 out of 10 rating with
so that's pretty high.
Yeah, with over 4,500 upvotes.
Wow. Okay. I'm excited then. This should be good. It's not good.
No, it's not.
It's not gonna be.
It's not good.
It's supposed to be good if it has that many upvotes, but no, it's probably not.
I have already read through it. I myself
I may
was kind of
stop
let down
you
by it.
like as you're talking and just tear it to shreds.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And disclaimer, I am probably going to stutter a few times, so I'm sorry if I break your immersion. I am not a very vocal reader. I tend to...
You're fine.
We don't
You
care.
do shit on YouTube all the time. You're fine.
I've got having to stutter a lot.
You're fine.
I'm gonna stutter from the tequila.
You even said vodka, and that's not
See?
right.
What the
Good
fuck?
Lord
Okay.
have mercy. Okay,
Shit.
go ahead, Richard. Rabbits in the Creek, everybody.
Rabbits in the Creek, written June 1st, 2014.
I'm scared.
I'm writing this because my family won't talk about it anymore. I'm the only one who can't seem to forget. I was raised on the outskirts of Preston, a small town in southern Idaho, with a population of around 5,000. My more immediate community was an isolated dead-end dirt road called Bear Creek. Less than 20 families lived on the Bear Creek. I didn't mind being so isolated. I grew up in the...
First of all, we're in Little River then.
Yeah.
We're in Little River
Little
Academy.
River.
That's what I'm going to think
And
of.
Bear
Okay.
Creek was the road from Wrong Turn.
Right,
Okay.
go ahead.
I grew up in the comfort of wide fields and close neighbors that only rural people know. We were a Mormon community, very church-centered, very community-centered. All the young girls, myself included, were part of the young women's group. And all of the
wait,
boys...
So wait, you're
mission.
you're a female in
Yes,
this?
this
then?
is... I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm a
You're just
very
gonna go on
masculine woman.
Okay. Sorry.
All of the boys were members of the local Boy Scout troop, which doubled as a church group in our area. We had a 4th of July party at the local ballpark and swam in the nearby reservoir. It was a good, quiet community. My house, a 92-year-old farmhouse built by my great-grandfather, was situated in a small hill surrounded by a wide grass field on one side and a snaking dirt road on the other. Across the road was the creek bottoms. Southern Idaho is categorized in a desert climate, so not much grows outside the irrigated fields besides the sagebrush and burrs. The creek bottoms were the exception. The creek fed the growth of a thick tangle of pussy willow bushes.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you just call me?
Sorry. Pussy willow. Okay,
What did you just call me? Okay,
Continue.
Sorry.
In the late fall, we used to go down to the bottoms and pick the white cotton pussy willow seeds to decorate the fences of our I'm sorry, guys.
I can't do it.
We're older than you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can she not name it something else? Cattails, something. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Pussy willows.
I'm sorry, guys.
Keep it together. Keep it together. Pussy willows. Keep it together.
Being so isolated, it wasn't uncommon for animals to come down from the mountains. We had a female moose who brought her calf down and lived in our orchard every winter, and the occasional lion wasn't unheard of either. The summer, when I turned 8, I remember because it was the same year as my baptism, a smaller mountain lion was spotted several times in our area. We weren't worried. The big cats stayed away from the farms and usually moved when the area didn't yield enough food. The same summer, my neighbor Peyton was working on his Eagle Scout project. He loved National Geographic and thought it would be pretty cool to try putting together a National Geographic submission in on our little creek bottoms. The young lion that happened to be in our area at the same time made him especially excited. He decided he wanted to try and get pictures of the lion and emailed the National Geographic team for advice. They recommended setting up an automatic camera that takes shots every couple of seconds in the area the lion was known to visit. They also recommended setting some kind of bait there so the lion would be more likely to come by. No one in the creek. What's that?
They put out some bacon.
I'd come for that.
Let me say this. So far, this is actually better than most of the creepypastas that you read. Like, it's much better written than most of the shitty ones.
Oh, yeah, it is very well written.
So far, they're very descriptive. I feel like I can see it, so I'm with you so far.
I'm really self-conscious about the actual scary stories that I looked up. No.
Right. Okay.
No one in the creek liked the idea of live bait or carrion, so we came up with a different kind of bait. We decided to set up an audio recording of a dying rabbit and play it on a loop through a set of speakers hidden in the willows. I remember when everyone was down in the bottoms testing the speakers, and I heard the noise for the first time. The sound of a dying rabbit is horrible. It's been described as being almost identical to the sound of a screaming child. If you've never heard it yourself,
say, like, it's like I'm not even gonna do it. Like, it's like a high pitched squeal kind of scream. Like, oh, okay.
I just got teared up.
Yeah, that's gross. All right.
If you've never heard it yourself, there's plenty of recordings available online. It's worth a listen.
Thanks.
I don't think it's worth a listen. Don't do it.
I don't think it
Googling now. I'm just kidding.
Unless you have morbid curiosity, then yeah, go for it.
Maybe a little.
The camera was set up. The speakers were set up. Everything was perfect. Peyton explained that he would allow the camera and recording to play uninterrupted for a week, and then he would go down to check on it. This would give time for our scent to fade from the bottoms and encourage the lion to come closer. At first, I was worried about the noise. It was truly a horrible noise, and our house was the closest to the setup point at the bottoms.
Yeah, that's awesome to try to go to sleep to.
Yeah.
The sound of screaming rabbits all night. Jesus Christ.
My father assured me that the noise wouldn't reach as far as the house, and I was relieved when we arrived home that night and he was correct. The bottoms were far enough away that I couldn't hear anything. I remember Peyton the next day at church. He was fidgety and excited to check on the equipment, but we had to wait a week, which everybody kept reminding him. He couldn't risk going down there too early and scaring the lion away for good.
So so here's my question. All of this is to capture video of just a regular, like, mountain lion? Like, don't we have a lot of video of mountain lions already? It seems like a lot of trouble for a mountain lion.
Well, these are, they're probably country people.
No, like I said earlier, it's just a project for him to get an Eagle Scout badge.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Where was I?
Sorry.
That night, I woke up to an awful noise. I sat ramrod straight in my bed with my eyes wide open in the dark. Hands clutched so hard.
Ramrod.
Yeah, I know.
Ramrod straight. Okay. All right.
I'm liking the story more.
Yeah.
Hands clutched so hard, my palms bore the indent of my fingernails for hours after. I knew
Okay.
that noise. It was the recording of the rabbit. It sounded faint and far off, like it really could have been coming from the bottoms. But that was impossible because the recording had been going all night the previous day and I hadn't heard a thing. I didn't sleep that night. I was too scared of getting out of bed to wake my parents. The recording played over and over again. I had the loop memorized. In the morning, I stumbled into the kitchen for breakfast. My mom and dad were sitting at the kitchen table. They too had dark rings under their eyes. I hadn't been the only one who'd heard it. Mom was convinced that the equipment must have been broken. She wanted to go down to the bottoms and check it out. Dad refused. He was a kind gentleman and didn't want to stir up unnecessary drama. He was sure that there had been a strong wind last night, and the wind was carrying the noise farther than its natural reach. He told us to listen.
Okay. Well,
we did.
That's feasible.
That's
a
scientifically
thing.
accurate.
Okay.
He was right. We couldn't hear it now. We forgot about it and went about our daily goings.
Goings-ons. The goings-ons.
We're going down to the creek. Sorry. The next night, it happened again. I stayed up in bed with my back to the wall. The screaming was even louder than before. But this time, there was something different. It was lower pitched than I remember, and parts of the loop were slowed down, as if the recording were warped in places. At times, the loop did not naturally, and instead... Oh, wait, what?
I said that sounds gross.
Oh, yeah.
That's creepy.
So,
At times, the loop did not loop naturally, and instead picked up in a random place in the middle.
that's the devil.
That's the devil. That's the devil.
Sorry.
My mom didn't mention anything at the breakfast table, but both her and my dad seemed tense. The third night, I mustered the courage to stand by my bedside... Wait. The third night, I mustered the courage to stand beside my bedroom window and looked out to the yard. For a moment, I stood, rooted in the spot, my hands shaking no matter how hard I clenched them. Well, duh, you don't want to clench your hands because the harder you clench them.
Right. That's like
Um,
if you lock your knees in place, you're going to fall down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The noise sidled in through the cracks in the window. I watched the outline of the trees in the yard, perfectly still. Not even the slightest breeze stirred the branches. What?
I was just saying, people could see me. I'm shaking my finger because that ain't right.
No, it's not okay.
That's a
I'm just
no.
waiting for you to grab this and scream like a child when he gets to the
I'm gonna
punchline.
do it. I'm gonna do it.
My mom
go
announced
ahead.
that she would be going to visit her sisters in the town next day. Ah, man, I read that completely wrong. My mom announced she would be going to visit her sisters in the town the next day, and would probably spend the night there. She invited me to come along, but I was a daddy's girl at heart and chose to stay at the farm.
I forgot again that you were a girl
I
until
did
you just
too.
said it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
And
sorry.
Voice is too manly.
this part's a
You're
little weird.
you should have talked in a girl's voice the whole time, Richard, because I'm confused. Okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to
You're
add a
daddy's girl.
country twang
Richard
accent
is
to
the
it?
daddy's girl. You heard it
He's
here
the
first.
daddy's girl.
Do you want me to feminize my voice and
No,
give it a
you're
country
fine.
twang?
You're fine.
We
You're
like
fine.
it. We like it.
I took my mom's place beside Dad in their bed that night, but even that
Okay,
didn't help.
but wait. Okay, hold on. Now, why in the hell would you do that?
That's called
That's creepy.
Country molestation.
Yeah, you're just waiting to get molested.
Uh-huh.
That's why I was saying this part was
That's
a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Oh, okay.
I don't think my dad was asleep either, for he was unnaturally still the whole night.
I don't like that.
We began to hear the noise during the day too. I was drawing with chalk on the sidewalk when it happened. My shoulders tensed and the hairs on the back of my neck prickled. There was only one scream, a short, high-pitched one, and then the recording fell.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought that was the scary part. Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then the recording
Excuse
fell
me.
silent. It happened again several times throughout the day, but never the whole loop.
Sorry.
It's the,
Excuse me.
Richard.
I think there's a
we're
goat
so
trapped down
sorry.
in the bottom of the creek. We gotta
There's
go
a goat
save
in
it.
the creek. You do sound like a goat when you scream
It
like that. It's like a
is.
screaming goat sound. Oh my god, it's so amazing.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
terrible.
Okay,
just fell.
go ahead.
Okay. Later that evening, Peyton's dad came up the driveway on his four-wheeler. He said he was looking for their dog, a sweet yellow lab who had been missing since that morning. Dad said he was sorry and that he hadn't seen her earlier. I stared at him, silently begging for him to mention the recording, but he didn't. He was a quiet man, after all. He didn't want to bring up unnecessary drama.
Okay.
Mom stayed away for the whole week. Dad and I didn't sleep. By Saturday...
So the mom stayed gone the whole week. She's like, fuck this, I'm gone. Y'all have fun.
What a bitch.
What a bitch.
Yep,
So selfish.
She whisked out.
Terrible.
Awful. Thanks, Mom.
By Saturday, the screaming could be heard constantly, though it seemed to have deviated from the familiar loop entirely.
Don't stop listening, y'all.
I know. I didn't recognize any of it. Sometimes the screams were thin and long, other times they were hardly more than growls. Once, while my dad had been heating up meatloaf for lunch, the noise rose into such a rancorous din that he dropped a plate and it shattered. I pressed my hands over my ears where I sat at the table and squeezed my eyes shut, but it didn't help. The noise forced its way through the cracks of my fingers and pinched my throat and rattled my ribcage.
Why are they still there? Why are they still there? Just go away.
Go with Mom.
The din lasted for a whole minute, then fell silent. Dad was shaking. That was the last we heard of the noise that day.
Thank God.
Peyton came by on Saturday evening to ask permission to cross the road to collect the equipment. He was so excited I watched him disappear into the creek bottoms with a sense of a tired relief. After the equipment was gone, it would all stop. I couldn't wait to get a full night's sleep. Not a minute later, I spotted Peyton coming back from the creek. I was confused. It had taken us much longer to set up the camera and the speakers, so I'd only assumed it would take just as long to collect them. My breath stilled when Peyton came closer. He didn't look right. His eyes were wide and his face pale. Something wet dribbled down from his chin onto his shirt. I later realized that it was vomit. My dad caught him before he fell and demanded to know what had happened. Peyton couldn't speak. He just cried. We called his dad. I looked after Peyton as both my dad and his dad went into the bottoms. They were gone a long time. When they returned, their faces were grim and smelled funny. Oh, and they smelled funny. I'm sorry.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way.
Ugh. Ugh.
Don't
I noticed
go down
red.
to the bottom.
Making me nervous. Okay.
I noticed red on my dad's hands. I asked what was wrong, but they brushed right past me and immediately called the police. Nobody would tell me what had happened. I sat on the couch as a blur of neighbors and police officers swirled around me. At one point, an officer placed something on the kitchen table and left. I looked into the kitchen curiously. It was the camera from the bottoms. I wish I hadn't looked.
Oh.
The camera was a little banged up. Tiny scratches and dents covered the plastic casing. When I lifted it, my hands stuck to the plastic. Something tacky and odorous covered the screen, but it turned on fine. The first set of photos were normal. Just the pussy willows cast green in the glowing of the night setting.
Fucking pussy willows again. God damn it. Okay.
Willow. Sorry.
Willow.
Pussy willow.
Oh, bless it.
At one point, the camera angle changed, as if the camera had been knocked from its post. Grass now obscured most of the frame. Flecks of red appeared on the lens and remained there for the rest of the sets.
It's blood, y'all.
One photo made me pause. There was a figure in this one. Or half of a figure, as most of the upper torso hadn't been made into the frame. I thought it could be a human, but it didn't look like it. It should be standing upright. Its legs were twisted like an animal, and it seemed to be having difficulty supporting itself in an upright position. Besides the legs, a long, thin arm hung. Whatever it was, it must have stooped over, for its fingertips hung below its crooked knees.
What the fuck is it,
But what is it,
Richard?
though?
What is it?
The next set was different. It was as if the camera had been picked up, and it was now being held. The first photo was of the bottoms at night. The next startled me. I had to look closely before deciding what it was. A rabbit had been laid in the bushes, but its ears and most of the scalp had been peeled away.
Ew, why?
Oh,
The next was of the same rabbit, but a thin, dark hand was holding it up against the sky. Its limp body hung like something from a nightmare.
Oh my god.
In the
I'm
following
gonna have
photos, in the following photos, more rabbits joined the one, each with their ears and scalp removed. Then a cat,
nightmares.
then more cats, then
They're
a
just
dog.
making a gumbo, y'all.
He's making making a murderous mobile,
He's making a rabbit fricassee.
like a terrarium.
Then a dog, the yellow lab, then the
Oh,
lion.
come on.
Lassie.
God bless it.
The following photo was of 7 rabbits, 3 cats, 1 dog, and the lion all laid out in a row, facing the same way. Their arms and legs had been arranged as if they were marching, like some parade. All of the scalps had been removed, and tiny white glints of their skulls could be seen. The last photo was overly bright, like the photo had been taken too close to with the flash on. An eye dominated the frame, but it was yellowed and crusty, and had a bar pupil like a horse. The bottom corner of the edge of the mouth could be seen. No lips, just teeth, sharp and little, with a wide gaps of red gum between them. I wish I hadn't
Sounds
looked.
like Aunt Alice.
I heard my dad talking to the police outside. They said the speakers had malfunctioned. The recording had only played the first night.
Well, god damn it.
Boom.
I just had to think about it before I got really scared. Well,
So yeah, there you go.
Wow.
That's
That's actually a lot better than most of them you see on that website. Usually they're shit.
So that
Yeah.
one was better than any of the actual real ghost stories that I found.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
pretty well written. No, that was pretty well written. Like the
don't be
person
sorry.
who wrote that one, so we can shout out to. Does it have the author's name on there anywhere? Because that was actually pretty well written.
It was.
I could see it in my mind thoughts.
I was there. It was like I was reading a book.
Yeah.
It was being narrated by a sexy man.
Doesn't have their name.
I
Well,
don't think it does.
props to whoever wrote that.
Yeah,
We
kudos.
appreciate
If
that.
you hear your story-
you sufficiently creeped me out.
You done good. I screamed like 4 times, and they were legitimate screams, y'all.
They sounded like a fucking goat screaming.
Yeah, that's what I sound like when I scream. I sound like a goat. Like
A goat? You
being
sound like
raped.
a goat being raped.
A goat being
Oh, jeez.
a goat being a raped goat.
Oh, God bless
Oh
it.
boy.
So,
Yeah, that was pretty good.
where do we go from there?
Alone time with Richard. Welcome everybody, and this is the lone segment for the Cog Pod. I hope everyone's doing well, and have a very safe Halloween. Enjoy yourselves. Don't get too wasted. And if you do get wasted, make a smart choice. Take a safe ride home. This has been Richard, with a side note from the Cog Pod. Thank you. What the fuck? Here's a side note for anyone who is a fan of the Dark Souls series, or the Souls in general. There is a website called www.first4figures.com. They have a ring, which is the Hornet's ring, which is for pre-order currently right now. Let's see, it is made out of 925 sterling silver. Estimated cost as right now is $176 with a US shipping cost of $20 for all regions, and is expected to release in the first quarter of 2019. So if you are interested in that, there you go.
Don't leave, Richard. We'll be there in a second.
What?
All right, so we're back, and now we're gonna do the trivia, you guys.
Uh-oh.
This is for Richard. For fuck's sake, get it together. So the way we're gonna do, don't cheat, Ross. Don't look at the answers. He's here with me in the same studio as me, so don't cheat. So this is gonna be a little bit different than before. So I'm gonna ask the question. If either of you know the answer straight off the bat without me giving you like choices, then just shout it out. And you get 2 points. Richard, you're going to be my scorekeeper, all right? You get 2 points if you shout it out without the answers. And if neither of you know it, then I'll give you A, B, C, or D. And Richard, you'll get to go first the first time because you're a loser. So we'll give you...
He has a hand.
We'll give you, yeah, you have a handicap. All right, so question number 1. What was the original title for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Oh.
Leatherface.
Do you have a guess, Ross?
No.
No?
It would be Leatherface.
You're wrong. Okay, here are your choices. So nobody got 2 points there. This is for 1 point. Richard, you get to go first once I say all the answers. Choice A is Massacre on the Hewitt Ranch. Okay. Choice B is Head Cheese. Okay, that's
Ew.
weird. Choice C is the Texas Chainsaw Killer instead of Massacre. And then D is Chainsaw Mayhem. Richard, you guess first. A, B, C, or D?
I think it was A.
You're going to go with A? Ross?
What was B again?
B is Head Cheese.
Is that really like one of the options?
Okay, so one of the answers is real. The other 3 I made up.
Oh, okay.
If that helps.
I'm going to go with the Texas Chainsaw Killer.
You're going with the killer, so that is C. You're both wrong.
Well, fuck.
The original title was Head Cheese. That's not even
Why?
a joke. I don't know why, but that's like literally... So 0-0.
Oh, okay, no, I get it.
Going into question 2.
Way to go, us!
Yeah, good job, guys. Way to go.
By the way, if people don't know what the hell head cheese is, it is the most disgusting lunch meat product there is in the world.
That's exact, and I think the whole wearing the face, maybe that's
probably where it came from.
But
okay.
Gross.
Question number 2. I'm gonna turn this way so you can't cheat.
I'm not cheating.
Okay.
I swear.
What was the year, make, and model of the car from Christine?
Oh.
Does anybody know offhand without me giving you options?
I don't know offhand. It was like a 60. Oh shit.
You don't know. Richard, do you have a guess?
It was a 94 Hyundai. No, I don't know.
God,
was it like a 68 Ford Fairlane?
No. Okay, here are your choices. A, 69 Impala.
Nope.
B, a 58 Plymouth Fury. C, a 66 Chevy Camaro. Or D, a 59 Cadillac.
It's B.
You're saying B?
I know.
Richard, what are
B
you
as
saying?
well.
Okay, you both get a point. It is a Plymouth Fury.
Yes.
So 1-1 after 2 questions. Okay.
Rock.
So, who tore their face off in the original Poltergeist, 1982 Poltergeist? Here's a hint. The hands that actually tore the face off, this is just a fun fact. Steven Spielberg used his hands to peel it off, so it wasn't the actor peeling their own face off. Steven Spielberg peeled it off, but whose face was it?
It was the wife of the main character in the attic.
Richard, do you have a guess?
I thought it was the husband. I don't remember.
Okay, so here are your answers to choose from. Y'all suck. A is Marty, whose real name was Martin Casella. I think he was the guy that was like the camera guy that came and was helping them or something.
Oh.
B is Dana, which is Dominique Dune. She was the older sister. She was Caroline's older sister.
Was it Lance
Now this
Henriksen?
is Poltergeist
Wait,
1, not Poltergeist 2.
Was it Lance Henriksen?
No.
Oh.
Choice C is Diane, which is Jo Beth Williams.
Nope.
And then choice D is Steve, which was Craig T. Nelson was the actor.
No, it was A.
You think it's A?
I think it's A.
Richard, what do you think?
I'm gonna go D because I think it was a guy that got his face ripped off.
Yes, in the first one it was a dude, but it was A.
Dang.
Marty.
I thought
So it was the camera dude that
That's
was
what I
coming to
thought.
investigate.
Because he went to the bathroom and he like started
Yes.
looking at his face and then he like pulled it off.
Now, in the second one, it was the older sister.
Yes.
Remember? She pulled her
Yes.
face off in the hallway. That's the second
I
one.
can never forget when someone pulls their face off.
Right. Ross has 2. Richard, surprise, you're fucking losing. You have 1.
Hey,
Okay.
keeping those expectations low. Like I promised.
right.
I deliver.
Jesus Christ. What was the original title for Night of the Living Dead? Any guesses for 2 points? Richard, you need to guess.
Oh my god.
Is it like
I can't
zombie
remember.
apocalypse?
Oh my god. I love those
I feel
movies.
like you're gonna kill yourself when you hear what the answer is, Richard. Because I know that these are like your favorites.
I know. I am gonna kill myself. Go ahead.
Nobody has a guess? Okay. Here are your choices. A. Dead Rising. B. The Corpses Come Back. C. Night of the Flesh Eaters. Or D. The Dead Live Again.
B. I think it's
Yeah,
B.
B.
B. You're both wrong.
Oh.
It's C. Night of the Flesh Eaters.
That's so stupid.
That's a
Oh,
terrible
that's right.
title.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a terrible title.
That's stupid.
Dang.
Still at 2-1. Okay. This might be a good one for you guys. Here we go. What was the name of the real-life brand of the 1980s toys on which Chucky in Child's Play was based upon? What toy was Chucky based on?
Is it Cabbage Patch?
He's
I don't
guessing
think it was
Cabbage Patch.
Wasn't it like the Raggedy Ann kind of thing?
No.
It
Y'all
was either
suck.
Cabbage Patch or it was the My Buddy doll.
It was My Buddy. Ross got it.
Oh snap! And you didn't give me options. Does that
No,
mean I get 2?
it's really
Pulling
My
shit
Buddy.
out of your ass over there. Come on,
He
stop
did. So wait, what's the score now?
Ross
4 to
is
1.
4, me 1.
Richard, get your shit together, bro.
And I genuinely am not cheating. She's holding
No, I'm
it.
holding it where he can't read it.
Like hold it up to where they can see.
He literally can't read it.
Can't
Okay.
read it.
So here's a Stephen King question, which is going to be tough, Richard, because Ross is a Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
Okay. What 3? So there's 3 Stephen King adaptations has Kathy Bates appeared as. Like, she was one of the main characters in 3 different ones. So we all know Misery. What were the other 2 is the question. What other 2 Stephen Kings was Kathy Bates in?
Dolores Claiborne
Okay.
and oh shit, was it
Richard, do you have a guess before he chimes in?
Wasn't The Shining one of them?
no? Oh, sorry.
No.
He just says no.
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 It was like based on a novella. I
You don't
think.
know it. You don't know it. Look at you. Y'all don't
I
know.
don't
Okay, here are your
know.
answers. Okay, so we all know Misery. The other 2. A, she was in Stand By Me and Return to Salem Lot.
Okay.
That's A. B, Dolores Claiborne and The Stand. C, Pet Cemetery and The Lawnmower Man. Or D, Sleepwalkers and Cat's Eye.
B.
You think
I
B?
think B.
Richard, what do you think?
What was C?
C was Pet Cemetery and Lawnmower Man.
No. I'm going to go D.
D, Sleepwalkers and Cat's Eye. The correct answer is Dolores Claiborne and The Stand. I've never even heard of Dolores Claiborne. What even is that?
So it's one of Stephen King's. It's a less horror-centric movie and more kind of psychological thriller.
Oh.
I didn't remember her.
She was in The Stand, apparently. I didn't know that.
Which I don't remember her. In
I have to look that up because I
Yeah.
don't remember her in it. So that gives you 5-1.
Mhm.
Richard,
What?
buddy.
I had higher expectations, Richard. You're gonna
I'll
have
teach
to...
you next time.
No. So I have all
See-
these like lightning round tiebreakers, but you didn't even need them because you were so far behind.
No, see, this is why it's good to have me on with your guess. Because that gives the
Richard.
guess 100% chance to win and make
So
themselves feel
Richard-
good.
Richard's hot though, y'all, so he doesn't have to.
He doesn't need the.
He's pretty, so he doesn't have to know things.
Oh, you're pretty. All right, so let's answer a few more questions that the fans sent in, and then Ross has like 1 or 2 true story.
Mhm.
Quote, I'm saying it in quotes. Y'all can't see it. Air quotes.
Air
Inverted
quotes.
commas. True Halloween stories. So, questions first. These are all from V. I keep calling him Vi, but his name is V. So, what horror trope annoys you the most in horror movies? Like the thing that's done over and over again that drives you crazy in horror
You
films.
go first, Richard.
Hmm.
It's hard.
There's
for
a
me
lot of
'cause
tropes.
I was going to say.
I have one that really drives me
I
crazy.
know which one Amanda's is. I'll be able to tell you before.
I don't know. This is kind of tough.
I know.
Is it-
Mine
So I'm
is-
going to tell you Amanda's.
Okay.
Hers is when it's apparitions, and it's like the full figure, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't be.
It's like you have to walk around the ghost because it's just a person
Like,
in the
no,
room.
it's
I
not a
hate that
ghost.
one. And then the other one that I thought of that I can't stand is when somebody's possessed and they climb on the walls. I fucking hate that.
Creeps
It's
me
so
out.
annoying.
No, I hate it because it scares me.
No, I don't like it. It's not scary. It's
Scares
just
me.
no. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. You're stupid. Okay, what do y'all hate?
One is whenever, like, they have those stereotypical hot girls that get naked and then they just die immediately. That's really stupid.
Yeah, just the obligatory tit shot.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, that is kind of getting old. That kind of started with Halloween, the original.
Another, I would probably say, what is it? The black guy that always dies first.
Yeah, they do that a
Token
lot.
black
The token black guy that dies first.
Yeah.
Or you know what I also hate is when the girls, they're running and they trip and fall. Oh my god, I'm a stupid girl and I fell down.
Like, what do you
Or
have,
they're like,
rocks in
what
your
are you doing?
shoes?
Or they run up the stairs instead of going out the front door that's right there.
Throw
Like,
back
what?
to
Mother
Scream.
trucker. I mean, after
what-
all of these stupid horror films, and then you go into Jurassic World, where that bitch is running in high heels through the entire movie and
Oh,
never
I know that
trips
was
Right?
once.
super stupid. What the fuck?
She did amazing though. So my pet peeve is probably going to be along the same lines of like, it's kind of encompasses several of y'all's, and it's like just people doing stupid shit.
Just shit that people
Like,
wouldn't do in a real
There's
situation.
a running car waiting there for you, and you could just
And you
get
run
in
to
it
the
and
woods
go,
instead.
And instead you go hide in like the shed.
Yeah, you hide in
with,
the
like,
shed.
all the machetes.
Oh my god. Yes, it's so annoying. Everybody always does the dumbest fucking things.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'm just getting my keys and I'm going. Whoever can
So
come with
annoying.
me, come on.
You're in or you're out.
Run fast.
Yep. Next question. Who is your all-time favorite horror movie villain?
Oh god.
My favorite villain.
So I can go. Can I go first?
Mm-hmm.
So mine is gonna be Ghostface
Really?
because I love
From the Scream? I do love Scream. I don't think he's my favorite because he's just it's just dudes in a mask.
It
Like
is.
you
It is.
you understand that.
But I love those movies so much.
I think my favorite would be
It'd be Jason second.
it's like the classics like Jason or Freddy or Leatherface, like the ones where you can't
Pinhead
really...
is good too.
Pinhead's good. Like the ones where you don't understand their motivation behind their murder.
Yeah.
Like they're just killing people just to kill people. There's not really an explanation. That's like the ones that are scary to me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Richard?
I don't know if this movie counts as a horror movie, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of scary whenever I was younger. Trimmers, the graboids.
Oh yeah.
The actual
Yeah.
Trimmers.
Is it because it seems like something that might actually happen?
Yeah, it
So it's
seems
more
pretty
scary?
possible. But I just
Yeah.
love those movies, and I think that
I did too.
They were good.
We used to play Trimmers
Monsters.
on.
Yeah, you like it's like the floor is lava,
Yeah.
but the floor is worm monsters, and so you're just like crawling across all the
My
furniture.
mom used to get
Yeah.
so
Definitely.
pissed because we would mess up furniture and stuff. But
Definitely.
yeah, Trimmers were scary.
They were. I liked those movies.
I used to be the trimmer under a blanket sometimes on the ground.
Oh Lord! Throwback to our episode titled "Ass Blasters Saved the Franchise."
Mhm.
The Ass Blasters. Y'all remember those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. I was just so scared from the
Oh
Tremors.
Jesus, Tremors. So here's a really good one, and I asked Millie on the Not the Podcast that we'll put out this week as well, but you guys haven't answered this, and I'll answer again in case you guys don't watch it. But what is your go-to Halloween movie lineup? Like, what movies do you watch every Halloween?
Oh God. Can I go first?
You can go first.
So, Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus is on the top of my list for sure.
And then if I have the time, I'll watch the Scream trilogy. I don't
Oh,
count the
yeah.
fourth one, the
No,
trilogy.
The fourth one does
The
not
trilogy.
exist in our world.
It's not real to me.
It was shit, and you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah. Yep. And outside of I still love the Mothman prophecies.
Okay.
Just because it creeps me out so
I
much.
do really like that one a lot. Wake Up, number 37.
So creepy.
It is real creepy. Stop.
Sorry.
I always, every year, and all of you know this about me, I watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, I have to. And then a newer one that is so good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's called Trick or Treat. It's like 4 different miniature Halloween stories, but they're actually tied together, and it's really well done. And
I
it's
like those. It's kind of like
it's
Trilogies
really
of Terror.
cute. It's really cute. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But they're all really, really good. So watch that. Richard, what do you watch for Halloween?
I really don't have any kind of specific things that I watch for Halloween.
He's like, I watch myself doing homework.
That is
That's
an
right.
unacceptable answer, my friend.
Yeah, you have
Now,
to pick something.
There would be one movie, but it's
Okay.
not really Halloween. It is, but it's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I love that.
a lot of
What?
people do that.
It's kind of Halloween, Christmas, so you
Yeah,
can do either time.
exactly.
A lot of people do that on Halloween.
I love that movie. I'm gonna
I
watch
hated
it
it.
now.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow.
I haven't seen that. The one with Johnny Depp?
I saw it once, and it was okay.
Johnny Depp or
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
The older one.
Jeff Goldblum.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one. I
I've
saw the
never-
old one.
Yeah, I've only seen the Jeff Goldblum one. I've never seen the Johnny Depp
Yeah, I didn't
one.
see the Johnny Depp one either.
Christina Ricci, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp,
I didn't
Christina
watch that
Ricci.
one. Maybe I should check
Steven
it out.
We
Spielberg.
should watch
We should
it.
watch that.
Production.
Maybe we'll watch that tonight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
Chili, God bless you, Chili P. He sent in what's not exactly a question. What he said was, this is not so much a question, but I'm trying to get the phrase bone marrow to get to catch on as a euphemism for ejaculating. Can y'all make that happen? So, fans out there, if you
could see my face right now.
if you could just go ahead and make this a thing, Chili would like us for masturbating to mean bone marrow. Bone marrow.
Bone marrow.
I don't
So,
because
like-
it's your boner and the marrow comes out. That's the ejaculate. I think that's what he was going for. He was like, "Can you please make this a thing?" So I have now made it a thing. So fans, tweet at me about your bone marrow. Don't do that, please don't.
So, I just would like to add that, so like if you make a mess, you just got marrow everywhere?
Ooh, burn.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Throwback to another episode we had that was called Molten Splooge, which was when Satan jacks off on you. It's Molten Splooge.
Ugh.
Bone marrow.
Bone marrow, everybody.
Well,
bone marrow.
We'll try.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
We will try. I need another shot.
Hey,
We'll
I
try.
read all the emails that come in.
Excuse me, y'all.
I try to get to all of them. So Ross,
Mm-hmm.
out of your scary stories,
Oh.
which one do you want to read? Say we only have time for like 2.
Well, they're pretty short.
They're short, and we can like discuss them or say something similar that's happened to us in life, maybe, or something. I read through them, and there's some pretty good ones. So read us one of your, like any one of them. It doesn't matter, and then we'll just
Okay.
talk about it a little bit. They're very short, Richard, so you don't have to have a long like attention span or anything.
So, this one's called Demon in the Dark.
Demon in the Dark.
So, my family traveled to the south of France to stay in a cottage owned by someone my dad worked with, rich bitches. The owners visited occasionally, but that summer it was free and we had 10 days booked in there. After a long 2 days on the road, we drove down a steep driveway towards a secluded mill cottage. Nope, I'm turning around.
No.
With the water wheel sat static alongside the stone house. No, this is not Beauty and the Beast. There was a deep cellar with stone stairs down under the wheel next to the house, and a small river circled the place.
Okay.
We went into the house and chose rooms, but being set down in a small copse, the house was draught and cold from lack of use.
Okay.
We settled in and turned all of the heating on, yet the house remained cold and felt damp. First night, we'd set a fire in the living room and listened to a couple of audiobooks before my sister and I went to sleep. Who are these
does
people?
that?
Who are these people?
Who does that?
Now I don't believe the story. My parents stayed up a little longer, then went to bed. Around midnight, they both woke up at exactly the same time, and the door to their bedroom was opening slowly.
Okay.
At first, they thought it was my sister until they saw a large, dark silhouette of a man framed in the doorway, standing stock still, just looking in their direction as if appraising them. After a short period,
It was a homeless man.
he was just hungry. He just got some of their food and then left. The shape turned and started to move as if satisfied.
What?
Ew,
What?
and disappeared.
Okay.
They looked at each other but didn't speak, and both went back to sleep. The next morning, the house felt warm and dry. Sunlight was back through the windows, as if something had lifted and accepted them. They spoke the next day, and both agreed that although they were skeptics, it could not have been anything other than something supernatural in that doorway, deciding their worth.
Okay, I have some problems with that.
So
but,
you're just going to sit there and not do anything about someone standing in your doorway staring at you.
Why would you not worry about that? They didn't seem upset at all. Like, they didn't seem scared. So, okay, I have a
I
similar...
don't want to be assessed or praised.
Right, so I have a similar, kind of similar story. It was the door opening thing. So, okay, when I was little, I believed in ghosts, like, pretty hardcore when I was smaller.
I still do.
It depends on the situation. So, I was probably 12. My brother would have been maybe 15 or 16, and we both heard, like, a sound, apparently, but we didn't know the other one heard it because our bedrooms were next to each other. But at the same time, we both leaned out the hallway and looked the opposite direction because our bedrooms were next to each other, and we turned and we both see each other staring at each other through the hallway.
See, I thought y'all looked down the hall the same direction.
No, we both looked at each other.
Oh, shit.
Because and I was like, did you hear that? He's like, did you hear that? And we both heard something, and then we were like... And
but
then we
slam their doors and go climb under their covers?
Yeah, you climb under your covers.
Because the
So
covers are safe.
So we were scared, but they didn't sound scared to me.
They didn't. It was... Sorry.
It's not as believable when you're not scared.
That wasn't very scary.
No.
I'm actually like, my heart is warm. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you don't do your goat scream for that. That didn't get a goat scream.
It doesn't get a goat scream.
No, it doesn't.
So here's another one.
Okay.
When I was a kid, we lived in a haunted house.
What's the name?
Strange things... The name of the story?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's called House for Sale / Currently Occupied.
Okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a kid, we lived in a haunted house. Strange things happened all the time. For example, my dad and I were alone in the kitchen. Great. One day making a snack, we put a plate on the kitchen counter and walked away to the fridge. We got what we wanted out of the fridge, turned around to walk back to the counter, and the plate flew off the kitchen counter and broke on the floor.
Do they have pets?
You know?
Was it a cat?
Was it a rat? How old was the house? My dad tried to calm me by saying the plate must have been blown off the counter.
Sure.
Your
What?
dad's stupid. Honey.
Sure.
Your dad's stupid, Christy. But let's face it, the plate wasn't near the edge of the counter, and there were no windows or doors open.
True
No
that.
one else was home. It says weird. Okay. I also woke up to an old lady standing by my bed on more than one occasion. I told myself I was dreaming. This part might be dark, but here's the rest of the story.
I doubt it. Okay, go ahead.
Years later, I looked up the address and found that an old couple lived there for many years right before we moved in. Apparently, the house was broken into, and the old woman was raped and murdered. Oh, rape, for real?
Oh, come on.
Not bad. The old man sold the house and moved. We were the first occupants since the incident. WTF. We only lived there for about a year. My parents swear we moved so quickly because we got a better deal on another house nearby. But we know it was because the house was haunted, and the priest they brought in to bless the place told them we should move. No joke!
Yeah, no shit.
Thanks, Christy!
So 2 things on that. So,
No.
I remember when I was probably about the same age, but I think I just freaked myself out a lot at that age, that I woke up once and thought I saw an old lady standing over my bed. Like, I really did think I saw that.
That's so creepy. That's like the time my husband...
And then it just kind of faded away.
So do y'all know the V for Vendetta mask face?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my husband, before we were together, we were living in the same apartment, but we were just roommates. And he woke up, and all around his bed, he could see, like, the figures, dark figures with... And
These
they all
masks?
had the masks of the V for Vendetta.
Ugh, Jesus, that would be terrifying.
I think that's the reason he got with me, so he could sleep in my room.
He was like, we need to get together so I can just stay in a different room.
But he said he was so scared that he literally just closed his eyes and couldn't look.
Well, yeah, when you're in, like, true terror mode, you can't move at all. Like, you can't do
Yeah.
anything.
It's terrifying.
There was one time in the house that I had in Pflugerville, Ross was over, remember? So we're in the kitchen. We were making food or something. And we both saw...
So to give it a background, they had pulled the love seat away from the one wall because they were gaming.
Right.
So we could sit closer to the TV. And
Right.
so there was this gap in between the bar and the
couch.
The couch.
So we both thought there was somebody sitting at the bar. I don't know how they would have been sitting. We didn't even have any chairs. Like, there were no bar stools.
There was no bar
But it looked like a
stools.
dude was sitting on a bar stool, and he was in, like, a black hoodie.
Yeah.
And it looked plain as day, like a person. Like, we both thought it was my husband at the time sitting there.
So we didn't think anything of it.
We really didn't. We didn't seem scared or anything. And then, like, we turned back around and he's gone. And I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't Kyle just sitting there?
And Kyle, like, came down the stairs.
Yeah. And so then I had you write down so that we wouldn't feed on each other's fear, like what you thought you saw, so we both wrote down what we saw so that we wouldn't be able to,
and then compared
notes, and they were the same.
It was so scary, y'all.
But to have somebody validate that they saw the same thing as you is really freaky.
Well, and then do you remember the time? So Randy, my husband, he saw a child in his closet.
Oh,
it was like a little.
I forgot about that.
It was a child. So we lived in this really terrifying apartment for a while.
Clearly,
it was huge.
Clearly,
it was the same apartment.
It was really large.
And he saw a child in his closet, and then the next day I woke up, and he was telling me about it, but he didn't give me any details.
Yeah.
And I literally sat there and described the child to him because I had seen him in my room.
Oh no!
And then the other thing about that apartment was we got black lights out, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh no.
So.
Richard, have you had any experiences where you thought you saw a ghost or like heard something or like
Yeah, I've had
weird
some weird stuff happen whenever I was little.
Like at your parents' house?
Yeah. Well, this was whenever I was still in New Mexico, whenever I was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
First house
that
we lived
New Mexico
in.
that was haunting you?
No.
Sorry. Okay, go on.
The first house that we lived in down there, I was probably 3 years old. I was laying in my bed, and we always left our doors open and everything like that, so that way parents could run in and check and everything. I lock my door at night.
We did that as kids too. No, we did that as kids too, and my parents left the doors open.
Yeah,
all the time.
I always had my doors open.
Yeah, I always lock my door now because I'm paranoid about that shit.
And because
but,
rape.
I woke up in the middle of the night, and I look out the door, and I'm still laying in bed, and I see what looks like my dad just standing in the door frame, staring into the room.
So it didn't freak you out, probably? Or it did?
Well, being that he didn't move and he just had a smile on his face, that freaked me out a little bit. So I ended up covering my face.
Smile.
And the next morning, I asked my parents I asked my dad if he'd been and looked into the room that night before, and he said that no, he was in bed the entire night, and my mom attested to that, and so I didn't know what I had seen in the doorway. And then we moved house. This is probably a year later. I woke up in the middle of the night. My bed was across from the door. I would wake up and I would just see like these figures of like a family. There were like 2 kids and 2 adults just standing in the doorway.
So you saw the whole family? Not even just one person?
Yeah.
No.
I couldn't see any kind of physical features. It was just like a black shadowed outline with like kind of a reddish green black tinge to them. It was really
Did you see them out? Did you see them out?
No.
The door is this way, please. Okay?
Please exit to your left.
But those are the experiences that I've had, and ever since we moved to Las Maravillas, which is about 45 minutes south of Albuquerque, I always locked my door.
Yeah.
Ever since we moved there.
So you haven't had anything happen here in Texas then?
No, nothing here in Texas.
Even though you admittedly walk around your parents' property with a gun and several knives on you at all times.
Well, that's just varmints and animals.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You admit you've said that before.
I would too, just for, safekeeping.
I do. I sleep with a knife next to my bed every night.
I have a knife in my nightstand. I plan to have a 22 at some point.
I have a revolver in my nightstand.
I know. You bitch. This bitch is tougher than me. I
won't lie, the revolvers are so much safer than magazines for
my lamps are pretty heavy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just pull a drawer out of my nightstand and start wailing on something.
I used to sleep with a machete under the edge of the mattress so I could just whip it out if I had to.
Talk about a pee.
Whip it out.
Whip it out. Talk about a pee under the mattress. Jesus.
Shake that bone and get that marrow going. What?
Bone marrow, everybody.
Marrow.
We got it, Chili. Bone marrow.
I got some free
I'm trying to work for you, man. I'm trying to get that bone marrow going.
Oh, yeah. God bless it.
Get it going. So I have kind of a creepy story.
Okay.
So my dad actually died when I was 16.
Right.
And I was probably 17 or so. And I was walking the same house that we all had the terrible...
All these experiences, the broom, the hello, all of this is with the same house.
We're fairly sure this house was haunted.
Right.
But it never seemed scary. But anyway, so we had a long hallway and all the bedrooms were off the hallway.
It was literally like from a scary movie where the hallway, like if you look down it seems like the hallway just got longer as you kept staring at it because it had like the mirror at the end and everything. It was so creepy.
Yeah.
For the first 3 months that we lived there, I would literally pop out and scare myself because of the mirror. But so I'm walking from down that hallway into the foyer, and then after that's the living room, kitchen, and all that shit. And so I stopped in the foyer in my tracks because I saw my dad. And he was like this creepy, it's like everything you ever imagined in a movie, like creepy kind of blue, dead looking.
So it didn't look like him, it looked like a dead version of him.
It looked like a dead version of him.
Ugh.
But at the same time, it didn't really scare me because I was like, okay, it's dad.
It was clearly your dad.
Yeah.
So you knew who it was.
I'm like, sorry you look like that, sorry about that mouthful of worms.
You're like, do you need a makeover?
Yeah, like, does your ghost need some help? And so I was freaked out and like, I didn't think I was staying there very long, but then I walked into the living room where there was a clock on the wall.
Right.
And I had been standing there for 15 minutes.
Okay, is this paranormal activity where she stands in place for 3 hours straight?
Apparently
that's what happened to you.
And I had like tears all on my face and I don't remember any of it. I just remember seeing it and then I walk in the living room and it's like 15 minutes later.
Nope.
In what should have been, in my mind, about 30 to 45
30 seconds. Yeah. Nope.
Real creepy.
Done.
Real creepy. Hi, Dad.
Yeah, done. No.
Happy Halloween. Don't visit me.
Don't visit.
All blue and gross and dead looking.
If you're gonna come see me like as your normal self.
Come back as yourself. That wasn't that good either, but at least you weren't blue and dead looking.
Ugh.
So.
God bless it. That house was a bit creepy.
It was very creepy. I miss it. I miss it.
We do like being creeped out, so that's true. We would miss that kind of thing.
So that's probably my only
your scariest stories?
Probably, just because it was like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you guys that nobody sent in, but I wanted to ask. So, what are your favorite Halloween candies? And then what are ones that you fucking hate that they should stop ever making?
Go ahead, Richard.
Favorite
I love
and then, like, worst.
the caramel apple pops.
Oh.
Okay. Those
I
are pretty
love
good.
those things. As much as people love Peeps, don't make that a Halloween thing, please. Don't make that a Christmas thing.
It's just puff sugar. Like, what's the point of it?
I thought it was Easter.
Yeah, it's like usually supposed to be an Easter thing, but it's like just puff sugar.
So I would have to agree. That's disgusting.
Those are pretty gross.
And
They're
I know
like
a lot of
sugar.
people hate candy corn. I don't mind it. I like candy corn.
I like candy corn too.
I hate it. It's my number one hated candy.
Yeah, Amanda hates it.
Well, actually, it's probably number two. Number one hated candy is black licorice.
Oh,
is it the texture of candy corn that people
No,
hate,
it's the
or
flavor,
is it flavor?
because I can. Okay, so the corn candies, I hate them because they taste like you're just eating wax.
Yeah, waxy sugar.
Now, licorice I hate because of the flavor. Because I can eat the red ones, like the Twisted Vines or the strawberry Twizzlers or whatever. I can eat those. It's just the flavor of black licorice. It's Jägermeister.
It is.
It's Jägermeister. It's disgusting.
It's absinthe.
Licorice like sticks and stuff like that. But for some reason, I love black licorice jelly beans. Like
I don't
the
know
jelly
if I've ever
belly
had the
ones.
jelly bean version. I haven't had.
Some
those.
reason I can eat those just fine. I can't stand the sticks and stuff though.
Richard, would you agree that the black jelly beans are a little more muted in flavor?
They're maybe not as strong.
Probably yes.
But yeah, I can't do.
And I don't really like, not that I hate, but I don't really like Smarties because it's just flavored sugar. Like if I'm gonna eat Halloween candy, I want it to be chocolate.
I'm like, can I pick my favorite to be Snickers?
Can I get like a little mini Snickers or like a mini, like a Twix or like a mini Milky Ways? Like I want the little bite-sized chocolates.
So my
Reese's
favorite,
Pieces, like
I was
something.
just about to say my favorite is the Reese's Pumpkins on Halloween.
Yeah, because they have more peanut butter in it. They're not even the same as peanut butter
good.
cups. They have more peanut butter in them.
I have a question about the Halloween Kit Kats. Is it true that they use a different chocolate for the Halloween ones than the regular Kit Kats?
So I've heard that.
I hadn't heard that.
So I don't know if it's different for us, but I think it's different for other countries because the chocolate that they use in America is a different version of Kit Kat chocolate. I think it's like a milk chocolate versus like a semi-sweet chocolate, where other countries use the semi-sweet, wherein we're used to milk chocolate.
Yeah.
So I think for Halloween, they make them all milk chocolate. I could be wrong, but I think that's the difference.
I think that sounds right.
Because the other countries...
Are healthier.
They're healthier, and their candy's less sweet than ours, just in general.
It's so much better.
I think they
I
use
love
semi-sweet.
international chocolate.
Yeah, and like we've talked about it before, how Japan has every flavor of Kit Kat ever, like ever. It's like a thing for them. Yeah, they have like red bean paste, green tea, Kit Kats. Like they have everything.
They got sake, sparkling sake.
Yeah, they do some crazy ones. You were telling us once about the cheesecake ones that you can actually bake.
Yeah,
that are Kit Kat. They're just so crazy.
All I want a bone marrow flavored Kit Kat.
Can we get a bone Kit Kat? Dear Mr. Kit Kat.
Dear Mr. Kit Kat.
Can we please have a bone marrow flavored? No, it'd be all salty and creamy.
It would.
Please no, never mind.
I was just kidding.
This podcast is proudly sponsored by Kit Kat. We're not really.
And bone marrow.
And bone marrow. Oh my god! I swear to Christ.
I guess I would have to agree with Richard on the licorice.
Yeah.
It's just nasty.
What are your favorite candies then? You said it was the pumpkin
the Reese's
ones?
pumpkins. Because I even like them around Easter, like the Reese's eggs.
You know what I like at Easter?
And the Reese's trees at Christmas.
I like those coconut nests that have like the few jelly beans in them as eggs. Those are so good.
The robin's nest.
Robin's nests.
Yeah.
They only have them at Easter. I'm like, why can't I have a nest at Halloween? Or all year round, because they're so much better.
I mean, shit.
They're so good. There again, but I like toasted coconut, which is what it is. It's just chocolate covered coconut.
So I used to take Amanda's coconut nests, and I would take the jelly beans out and eat the nests.
Well, yeah, I never really ate the jelly beans either. I just wanted the chocolate covered coconut. It's like the best part.
That's where we agree. I love chocolate and coconut.
Coconut is good. Almond joys have nuts. Mounds don't.
I wish that they would make an almond joy without almonds.
It's called a Mounds.
I know, but it's dark chocolate.
I
just want the joy.
You want the milk.
Dark, yeah.
You can just peel the fucking almond off of it. It's not that hard.
I mean, I do, but I just want the joy. Can you just package the joy?
Can you just package joy?
I just want you to package
the joy. A package of joy, please.
The joy, and I want to eat the joy.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
Okay, well, that's my input for that.
Okay.
And also, because of the almonds. No, I like almonds.
But not with that combo.
But I want joy.
I just want joy.
I can get that, yeah.
I think that we are going to end it there, you guys. I don't know if there's much else we can talk about. We were pretty Halloween-y. Weenie? We were pretty Halloween-y this year.
I did have one thing that I wanted to add.
Okay, go ahead. Is it serious? Or?
Yeah, no, it's serious. It's No, that was it. That was it.
Ross, everybody. Applause for Ross joining us. And applause for Richard for losing again. Thank you for being such a great loser, Richard, every year.
I'm sorry for those of you that had higher expectations of me from hearing about me on other podcasts.
I'm sure they did.
Sorry if I sucked.
No.
If not, suck it and eat my bone marrow.
Also, visit Richard online. His YouTube is Kami-Sus, which is Kami5005 on YouTube for all his videos.
And for me, if you have my number, you can text me.
Or if not, fuck off, because Ross is not on the internet, which is why
I don't do social.
He's happier than the rest of us. Oh. Okay. Well, everybody, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
The regular podcast will be back in a week or two. Don't email me about it being late, because fuck off. We'll put it out when we want to.
Yeah.
And everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye. Happy Halloween. Be safe.
Happy Halloween.
Don't eat candy from strange people and get like a knife.
Don't
in
eat
your mouth or
licorice.
something. Yeah.
Don't eat licorice. Or bone marrow unless you really want it.
Yum.